Hey, how's it going? Jeremy Southard here, and this is another episode of Jeremy Makes Stuff. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that name, just kind of whatever came up. um, so today, I wanted to talk about websites. I have several different websites. Some of them are okay, some of them need some help. Let's see, I'll pull up. Let's go pull this over here. Alright, so first of all, I have jeremysouthard.com. Made this site a while back using a .NET project theme. It's okay. I think eventually I'm going to replace this site, but this is just one of them I have. I also have another one, artsupplyguide.com. This is a website I started a few years ago with a couple of different artists. There's a bunch of different projects on here, tutorials, product reviews, online art classes, a podcast with I think 16 episodes. And like I said, some online courses. Oops. Using Teachable as the main website with the courses. Another one I have, eliminateguesswork.com. This also goes to a Teachable site with some different courses about business stuff, WordPress list building, doing screencasts, all that kind of thing. Also have, for a while I was making board games, wastexgames.com. This actually redirects to the designer page on the Game Crafter where some games are available. So anyway, I have some websites. Some of them are actual sites. Other ones redirect to other places. Also have a bunch of different domain names that either I had like a project idea at some point and thought, oh, first thing I'm gonna do is run out and buy a domain name, and then never use it. Or as a project that failed, or it's something I used for a time. So what I want to do, I've been contacted before, or people will come across a domain name that I have, and so I was like, oh, I really like this domain name. I want to buy it. And I was like, I might still do the project someday. I don't know. A few I've sold, a few I haven't. So I'm thinking I want to make just a small website that if somebody enters in one of these domain names and they go there, it's just a contact page that says, hey, this domain name's for sale. Make me an offer, enter your name and email address, and click a button. So I'm going to put this little web page together using JavaScript, and another thing I found called Postmail. And Postmail, let's see if I can pull up that website. Yeah, Postmail. Create a contact form in seconds, no backend required, which is a big deal. I just want to have it on the page. Perfect for static sites. So this has a 3-step process here. Put in your email address, and then it emails you a link. It builds the form for you, copy and paste it onto the page, and it looks like this. So I'm going to use this as a base, but then I also want to detect which domain name was entered, and then have that appear in the subject line. So for example, I have a list of domain names that I'm going to use this for. So scoop.me, smilemonthly.com, serversquirrels.com, iamfireproof.com, reroll.me, and roleplaying.me. So these I've collected over time, like I said, different projects or whatever that have either come and gone or never happened or whatever. So I've already signed up for the Postmail account. And I think I'm just going to start off just with Notepad for now. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up. So here on W3 Schools, there's all this information about HTML, CSS, script, all these different programming languages. So if you don't know HTML, W3 Schools is a place to go. You can also do a Google search for HTML tutorials or whatever, but this is pretty comprehensive. There's also a lot of additional information here that you may go further into with jQuery or Python or whatever. There's a more link. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here. But anyway, so I'm just going to start off with Notepad. And I'm just going to do a few things here. So first off, there's the opening HTML tag and the closing HTML tag. This is everything that's going to happen in between. The head is like the header of the document, the body is the body of the document. So in the head, I can also give it a title. And this is also where I'm going to put some script. For the title, we'll say this domain name is for sale. So what the title is going to do, let's see, let me save this somewhere. Just save it on Dropbox. Let's make a new folder. Website stuff. And I'm going to call this index.htm. Now, index is it doesn't really matter what I call this, because once I put it on the server, I can tell the server which page to show as default. But index is kind of a standardized name. I'm going to save that. So right off the bat here, if I open this file here in Chrome, Dropbox, oops, this one, website stuff, index. You can see the title is up here on the tab. This domain name is for sale. So pull this back up. Do that in the body as well. There's different header tags, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they make different sizes. I didn't intend for this to turn out to be like an HTML tutorial or anything. But I also don't want to have silence. So we'll see how this goes here. So this domain name is for sale. H1 is probably going to be way too big. Maybe not. We'll see. And this is looking pretty plain. I think, let's see, let's go to, just look at some ideas. Go to creativemarket.com. They have a bunch of website templates, WordPress templates, themes, graphics, all kinds of stuff. We'll look at a couple of website templates here. Just maybe get an idea of a simple look. You can see some of these are $10, $5, $39. But I don't want to just purchase a template. Just looking at these for some ideas. Actually, the Postmail site's kind of nice. It's just centered, big block. They're going to give us the contact form anyway. Let's do it very similar to that one. So let's see. Let's go to Google Fonts. Find a nice font to use. Loading. And, all right. Right off the bat, Roboto. That looks good. I like that one. I'm not sure what I just did there. I clicked the plus sign. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. It's got all the different styles. All right. I am not 100% sure how to. Okay, yeah, so it's got the link here. So I selected the font I wanted. It added to this family selection thing, and it gave the link here. So I'm going to copy this, bring the website back up. Still inside the head. I'm going to add that. And it says specify in CSS. Okay, so if I just add that and save the file and refresh, you can see nothing changed. Because even though I added, and I can view the source here, even though I added the link to the style sheet, or to the, I still didn't apply the style to anything. So, bring that back up here. And if anybody has any questions, you can ask in the chat box there, or have any suggestions if you think I should use a different font or whatever. Let's see here. So here, add a style block. Oops. And let's see, for H1. No, I'm just going to do it for the body. That way all the fonts, or all of the text, will use the same font. Yeah, I think that works best. Let's see, how did they say to do it? Font family. Sure, I'll just copy that. So body, curly braces, font family, Roboto sans serifs. We save that, go refresh again. Right now it's got the Roboto font. All right, so let's see. I also want to expand this a little bit. Let's see. So I don't want to just use a center tag, which would center everything, but that also doesn't always. Sometimes it'll center elements, sometimes it'll center the text, but not the elements, or it'll apply to certain sections or whatever. Let's see. Let me go back to W3 School. What was the website? I lost it. Yeah, W3 Schools. And specifically, we're going to go to CSS. And here it's got all the different stuff. So we'll go to CSS text. And scroll down here. Next example, they're talking about color and alignment. Yeah, so on this website too, this is this try it yourself thing. When you click on that, it goes to this, it'll have a piece on the left, a piece on the right. And you can make changes here. So you can see it's got H1 is set to center, and here it's centered because it's this H1, so that's why it's heading 1 centered. You can also Like if I change that to left and hit run, you'll see the heading jumped over to the left. So it's a pretty cool little like testing sort of platform here where you can play around with it before actually going into your stuff. So, okay, I will text align, center, and that's going to align all of the text to center of the page. So after that, bring my thing back up. Let's see, let's put the form in next. So Postmail had this form. Like I said, I already signed up for it. I'll get it on the other screen. Let's see, there's a form. I'm just going to do the raw JavaScript version. I'm going to copy this code. So it looks kind of like this. There's also some script. Let's paste this here. Make this full screen again. Put it here. And they actually have the script inside the body tag. So when a page loads, it loads sort of top down, and if there was a bunch of script that is firing off when the page loads and it's up at the top, and then but the elements it's manipulating are further down, it's not necessarily going to work correctly. So a lot of people like to stick the scripts at the bottom, but you can also use like a library like jQuery or set up other event handlers and stuff to make sure things are happening when you want them to. For now, they have this here. I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to remove my script above. So let's see. Here's the placeholder message. Here's this, subject, the message, and submit button. Not required, but we'd appreciate it if you linked us somewhere on your site. That's fine, I'll leave it there. So if I just save this the way it is right now, and let's see if we look down further here in the script tag. That was strange. I think I have some visual artifacts. Let's see. Yep, remove the script tag. Just update this with your JS form selector. The form is called JavaScript form because we copied theirs, so that still says JavaScript form. That's fine. I could change that if I wanted to have had multiple forms on this page. I wanted to make sure that this was the one it handled. This is the access token they gave me. There are a few other applications like Mandrill or what is the other one? I've used it a few times. Well, I can't remember the name of it now that when I have to think about it. But anyway, to send emails, a lot of times the access token there is just to allow you to actually send the email, and then you also supply a to address and a from address and all these things. With Postmail, the access token is tied to a to address. So it's okay for the access token to be here on the web page on the client side instead of a server side, because if somebody stole my access token, created their own form, put it in there, all it's going to do is send me an email. It's not going to, like with like Mandrill, you can only send 100 emails a day or something, whatever your account is based on. And if somebody steals your access token, then they use up your 100, and you never saw an email come in, but it also says that your emails are your quota was met. Well, in this case, if somebody takes the access code and starts using it for themselves, it's just going to send me the email anyway. So I may start getting junk, but then I can, guess that this is what it is and go get a new access token or whatever. But anyway, I'm not worried about the access token being on the page. There's the JavaScript on success. This would be called once the email is sent. Right now, it's redirecting back to the same page with this success message on the end. I might change that later. There's an error redirecting back to the same page with this error message on the end. Might change that later as well. It's got the send button, get element by ID, JS send. As you can see up here, the ID is JS send. And the actual send function, it changes the button text to say sending, disables the button, makes an XML HTTP request on ready state change. If status is 200, okay, it's going to call the success function. Otherwise, if it's done, yeah, else it's done but not a status okay, it's going to call the error function. And then here is the subject. It's got the form ID. Okay, so this is using the form ID JS variable, which was set. Where was that set? Request. Yeah, where was the set? Oh, up here. Form ID JS JavaScript form. So this is setting that here because it's using the query selector to get to the subject value and the message text value. So instead of, if I change the form, I only have to change it in one place where the variable is set instead of all of these places where the selector is called. Now this is their data.js object that they're going to post. It gets the subject, it gets the message, and then it posts to their send and sets the content type, and that's all done. So when the send button gets clicked, it's going to call JS send. And here they called this toParams function, which is taking this data.js array with both the subject and text in it, and it's setting it up for their stuff that they need there. Encoding, as somebody, you know, type some crazy characters or something, it's going to work. And here at the end, I just added the event listener on submit to stop it. The prevent default, normally a submit button will automatically submit to wherever the form's action is set to. This form doesn't have an action, so it would submit back to the same page, but the prevent default stops that from happening, and it stops the default action from happening. But then because we're setting the onClick to JSN, it's going to call the JSN function. So hopefully that makes sense. Nice little step through their code. That also means we could adjust the, I may adjust the subject later too. So if I save this right now and refresh, we should see some code. Yeah, this domain name is for sale, subject, message, send, powered by Postmail. I don't like the way that looks though. I think we need to spread it out a little bit. Make it a little prettier. Let's come back here. So right away, even though these are on different lines here, it's still really white space is ignored whenever the page is rendered. So let's see, let me put this over on this side, and I will pull this one over here, side by side. Okay. So there's a couple different options I could do here. So immediately we could just add a BR, a break, in between those, and save that, refresh. That'll put them on new lines. Could also, I think I'd rather have a table. Well, I don't know. Let's do that, see what it looks like. Do a new table, a table row, table header. Here I'm going to say subject. And then the actual table cell, the table data. Actually, I don't know the TD actually stands for table data. Let's see, do the same thing here. TH, this is message. Put the text area in there. This one, I'm just going to do a TD span equals 2, so it's going to span both columns. No, that's fine. Yeah. TD equals TR, close the table. Refresh that. Now it's not centered again because the table isn't just text. Because we just did the text line. That's fine. But it's a subject, message, message. I'm also going to set the size. Let's do 10 columns and 5 rows. Nope. I always do the columns too small. Maybe 50, see what it looks like. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to change this up here in the style. I'm not going to text align everything, but I will do it for the header. Or white space. I know white space can make things easy to read sometimes, but I also don't like a lot of white space. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's that guy centered. Powered by Postmail, is that inside of it's inside of a paragraph tag. Let's see. Maybe it's not a comma, it's just a space. Nope, that broke all of that. I'm doing the wrong one anyway. I wanted it centered, so for header 1 and for paragraph tags, center the text. Now, a few other things to do here. Let's see. I want to give the headers. By default, the headers are going to be bold. That's built in. I want to give it maybe a light blue background. Let's see, let's go Google search for color picker. And there's actually one built in here. Actually, that's go a little bit lighter than that. That's good. Maybe. We'll see. It might be too gray. So I'm going to copy this number here. This hexadecimal. So let's do the background color. And back to the page. Save that. Refresh. That's not bad. I want to make a few other adjustments to the table. Let's see. Cell padding 3. Oops. Let's see, is that actually going to make a change? No. Go in the table tag. Cell padding 3. That's spaced around a bit. Let's say no borders. That didn't quite work right. Let's see. back up here. I click search. Did it do anything? There it is. Table CSS. So CSS styling table. Yeah, so let's back up here. Yeah, I don't want to do it in the table tag because I want this to apply to any tables that'll happen to be on the page. Table. Order. 0 pixels. What else do we want to do here? Border stuff. Width and height I'm fine with. The text alignment's fine. Vertical alignment. Let's do vertical align top. So right now, you can see messages in the center here. Vertical align top will push it up to the top. Padding. Yeah, we do some. Oops. Padding of like 5 pixels. So that was border, vertical line top, and padding. So these three together, hopefully, alright, that vertical line, I didn't misspell it. Do the try it yourself. Here's the bottom, to top, run. See, they all jumped up to the top. Ah, but that was for the whole table. I want that on TH. Because we were just talking about the table headers. So refresh that. Not sure why that didn't work. Oh, ha! I misspelled vertical. That's nice. Spelling is definitely important and has to be exact. Let's see, I also want to text align to the right. I should push subject over there, yeah. And let's see. Something's beeping at me. I don't know. Something was beeping at me. Okay. No border. Let's do the try it yourself here with the border collapse. We take that away. What looks different? Oh yeah. We're doing border 0 already, so that's fine. Okay. Alright, so where are we now? Subject message, send button. looks okay. I want to center the table. So let's see here. Like if I wrap this in a center tag, refresh this, bumps it over right where we want it. And if we move this around, you can see everything is staying in the same area. Now, I wonder, instead of saying this domain name is for sale, I should just have the domain name. So let's say the domain name is for sale. To do that, I'm going to put, let's see, let's do a div here. Give it an ID. Domain. And if I save that right now, it should just say blank is for sale. So here in the script, I want to say domain text equals, you're going to set a variable here. Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't messing up any of the email code. I go in here, document.getElements by ID. And I called this domain. Domain text dot inner HTML equals. So now if I set this to something like right now, I just say asdf.com, save that, refresh the page. No, it's not inner HTML. I don't think it's .text either. Yeah. Let's see. Set text inside div. I misspelled inside. Not with jQuery. I use jQuery a lot at my full-time job. It's a pretty heavy library though. Makes things a lot easier. Let's see. Prototype, I don't want to use another framework. Oh, it was inner HTML, but HTML is capitalized. I was right the first time. Second guess myself too much. Refresh. Did I save the file? Save. Refresh. Oh, I typed over. Domain text dot inner HTML. All right. Refresh that. So it says asdf.com is for sale. Now it broke here though because not broke, but it went to a new line here because it's using a div tag. So instead of a div tag, I'm going to change it to a paragraph tag. Let's see, where did the text go? Here. And save that and refresh. Now paragraph is even different because it not only did it do a line break, but it also did a margin between paragraphs. But there's all kinds of other options. But really, since it's the whole header, I'm just going to set the whole H1 and copy this, come down here. So right now I'm just going to do a plus sign, and I'll explain why in just a second. But so now I just say asdf.com is for sale on a single line on the header. Now, this is going to be accessed from multiple websites. Let's see, where did my list go? Yeah. So somebody goes to any of these domain names, that particular domain name needs to show up there, but I don't want to have to hard code it. So what you can do is actually, I'm not sure how this is going to work when it's on the local file, but it'll work on the server. Window.location. Now there's a couple different things after that you could use. Let's see, let me come into this one and show you. So if I bring up developer tools and go to the console. So right now this is F12 developer tools in Chrome for this window. If I type window.location, it's going to actually show the location is https www.w3schools.com/css/is_table.asp. There's some other things here though, right? So if expand this, you can see there's hash, host, host name, href, origin, path name, port, protocol, all these different things. So if I were to type window.location.host, yeah, that would be good. That shows the actual domain name with the subdomain if there is one. So, like if I come back here to jeremysouthern.com and do the same thing, console tab, window.location.host. So since this isn't www.jeremysouthern.com, it's just jeremysouthern.com, the www doesn't show up there. And it's interesting, recently Google said they're going to start hiding the www and hiding the m dot if you're on a mobile site. But that's kind of weird because it could actually be a different website. But anyway, so window.location.host is going to display the name. Oh, where did my code go? Window.location.host. Let me save that. Now, like I said, I'm not sure what it's going to do here on a local file. Yeah, there's not an actual host. But we'll be able to test this later on the web server. So there's a subject, there's a message, there's a send. Thing is for sale. Powered by Postmail. I want to preload the subject. Let's see. I'm going to change the placeholder to I would like to buy. And then off to the right of that, I'm going to do the same thing with the window.location.path name. Oh, nope, sorry. That's not my code. Window.location.host. So to do that, again, I'm going to do another. Let's see, I'm going to give this table cell an ID. Subject cell. And down here, I'm going to say document.get element by ID. Subject cell dot I immediately was thinking the jQuery options because I'm just using jQuery, but I'm not using jQuery this time. That's not correct. I want to do cut that out, and right here I don't want a div, I don't want a paragraph. What else could I use? Let's take a look over here at the HTML stuff. Big enough for the menu. So there are, let's look at layouts. This is like website layouts. and floats. Yeah. Formatting styles, paragraphs, attributes, elements. Let's just look at elements. H1 paragraph. Yeah, do not forget the end tag. Very important. HTML basic. H1 through 6, paragraph tags, links, images, buttons, lists. So there's all kinds of options here. I think for now, put this back over here. I am just going to do another div. So the ID, nope. ID is, what was the subject? Domain. And down here, oops, subject domain dot inner HTML equals that. Now again, this isn't going to show up here. It says I would like to buy, and then there's another. Pull up the developer tools. We can see it. So inside this row, there's the input, and then here's the div. Now it's blank right now because this isn't an actual domain name. Close that. And I had an extra quote. It looked like. Oh, missed it for the ID. Okay. So if somebody goes to serversquirrels.com, it would say serversquirrels.com is for sale. Subject, I would like to buy serversquirrels.com. And I think instead of a placeholder, I'm going to set that as the value. Because if somebody doesn't change the placeholder, it's not going to say that because these are just placeholders you can type over. But now it stays there. So in the message placeholder, I'm going to say enter your name, email address, and offer value for the domain name. So in theory, somebody would put in, oh, my name is Jeremy, my email is, whatever, Jeremy at email.something, and I will give you $1,000 for this domain name. I click send, I get the email, and I'm like, you guys are crazy, I'll sell it to you for $100. So let's see here, that's going to preload, that's going to preload. This is going to use the Postmates. I need to test the Postmates. Let's do this as a test. Let's say I would like to buy serversquirrels.com. My name is Jeremy. My email is my email. I will pay you $4.37 for this domain. So right now, because of the way their onSuccess function and onError functions work, it's just going to redirect the page without any. I mean, it'll add the query string here with whether it was successful or failed. But it's just going to redirect a page, and right now it's not going to look at anything except for the boxes will be empty. So let's see what happens there. Sending, And you see up here in the, it looked like it's empty now, but up here you can see message equals email sent successfully, and there are no errors. So that's basically good enough, but I don't want the user to think, okay, well that didn't work, let me send it again. Let's see here, and just to show you, I did get the email. Let me obfuscate that a little bit. Okay. So I did get the email just now. It said, I would like to buy serverscrolls.com. It came from notifications at invotes.com. And here's the message that I had typed there. So it does actually send the email. So that's cool. So let's see. I want to handle the success and the errors. Let's start with, let's see. When the send button is clicked, it changes the text to sending and disables the button. If it's successful, it calls success. If it fails, it calls error. So inside of success, instead of redirecting, let's see, let's set the subject and message, let's hide the table and display a success message. So I'm going to give the table an ID. I'll call it message table. And then down here, argument.get elements by ID, message table. And I was just thinking in jQuery again, with raw JavaScript, I want to hide the table. So visible, false, visible, visible. I don't know if it's visible or visibility. Try and see. Oh. What happened? Music stopped. Does that mean I'm not streaming anymore? Let's see. It's spinning. Oh, it's playing again. Okay, so there's some skip frames. But it looks like it's still streaming. Okay, didn't disconnect yet. Okay, refresh this again. What was I doing here? Document I get one ID. Oh, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Equals. Save that. Refresh. Test this again. Send. Should get the success message. Okay. I set that up wrong. I did get the email, but this isn't right. So, let's see. Let's go back here. Search for visible. Not jQuery, not Bootstrap. CSS visibility property. Visibility. Okay. Yeah, object.style.visibility. So it said jQuery is an amazing thing, but I've been using it for so long I forget how to do the other stuff. Okay, so document get element ID, message table, style visibility equals hidden. Let's refresh the page. And some message and send. Sending. Successful. It disappeared. Let me get rid of this again. So in its place, I want to display message. I'm going to come up here and let's just add another message here. I'm going to do it in a div and call this success message. I'm also going to do an error message. Now, the success message, say email sent, thanks. And in the error message though, there's an error, and the on error accepts an error, but their current redirect doesn't display it. It just says email could not be sent. I want to use that when we get to the error. But to start with, style equal, I'm going to give this a class of message. Give this one a class of message. Up here, I'm going to create a class and call it message, and it's going to be visibility hidden. But class, oops, what am I doing? So you can't see them when they're hidden initially. And in the success, it's going to hide the table, and then we want to document.get element by ID. Style.visibility. Visibility. Always looks like there's too many eyes in that word to me. And what was the positive version of that? Visible. Which has less eyes than visibility. What was the ID of the success message? Save that, refresh. So I would like to buy some website or some domain.com, blah blah message. Thanks. Hit send. So that should disappear and the thanks button or thanks message appears. That's good. Now if there's an error, I'm not sure how to simulate an error. Oh, I know I can simulate an error. Well, let's look at the error code first. So the message here. Oh, hey Garrett. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat too. Just playing around with a little web page here. I'm not sure how long you've been there. Let's see. I'm still trying to figure out how the whole streaming system works. But so I'm not sure when you joined, but I've got a couple domain names that I've had for a long time that I'm going to get rid of. So I'm making just this little quick little page that I will point them all to using JavaScript to display the domain name in a couple of places. And it's sending an email using a cool little thing I found called Postmail. So it's a JavaScript email, and I don't have to worry about any backend code or anything. So let's see. And I'm fumbling my way through raw JavaScript. I'm not using jQuery or Bootstrap or anything else. Okay, seems like there's a large delay. Yeah, I don't know how long the delay is. I also apparently have a few errors here in the Streamlabs console thing, telling me that there's like dropping frames at some point or whatever. So I don't know if that also causes an additional delay or whatever. But anyway, back to the deal here. So let's see, it displays this. It's got the message. I think I want the success message to be bigger. So I'm going to switch that to a header one as well. And so again, oh, refresh. Blah, blah, send. And email sent, thanks. And it really is sending these emails. Let's see, I just got, yeah. So we've got a couple of the test emails. Serverless. Yeah, technically. I mean, I still have to put the web page up somewhere. I think I'm still going to put it up on my regular web server in IIS. And, well, I don't know. I might not. We'll see. Where I may use a S3 bucket, since it's just a static site. But then I'll have to look at how to route all the domains to it individually. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Let's see here. Success message, email sent, thanks. That's good. There was an error. And then we want to display the actual error information. I missed the quote there. So this will be error info. And down here inside the on error, I don't want to read it. And since it's passing in error, which is actually coming from request.response from the post mail response trying to send the email. So if there was an error, it's passing it in. I may as well display it. I don't know that it's going to be useful, but we'll try. So menu document dot get element by ID. What did I name it? Error info. Error info dot inner HTML. And we'll just pass an error. And let's see, what could I do to simulate this? I could just call the error function myself as a test, but I think I'm going to break the access code. So that's not my real access code. In theory, their server should send back an error message. So let's see, I would like to buy some stuff. I'm going to leave a message. I'm going to hit send. There was an error and it didn't actually send a message. Interesting. It did respond quickly, at least. Let's see. Where? Just request.response. Just as a test right now, I'm going to alert request.response. Whoops. Request.request. Request.response. Refresh this. Because I don't think it's actually sending back anything. Oh, it's sending back a whole static HTML. Or not static, but a whole HTML page. They're using jQuery. And Google Analytics. That's interesting. Okay, well that could just be because they may just redirect to the page if it's the access token that's wrong. So what else could I do to try and break it? Well, I'll just call the error function myself as a test. So here, I know it's going to work, but instead of showing success, there was an error. Huh. Okay. I must have messed something up down here then. Where is the error button? Or not button, but the error function. Here. I did not capitalize the E in element. As I said, the case is important in JavaScript. Get element by ID. Okay. So it'll still work this time. We should see the error message that I hard-coded just now. Yeah, you messed up. Not you, the other one. Okay, so I'm going to do that test again where I actually change my access token. Something else. Because that was returning HTML, which was kind of strange, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, nice. Invalid access token. You did not provide a valid, blah, blah, blah. So if there is a problem, a message will appear here. That's cool. And all their social links. Just kind of funny to return that all in an error. But whatever. Okay, so once it's set up, it'll see the domain name. It'll say serversquirrels.com is for sale. I would like to buy serversquirrels.com. Enter your message, hit send. If it's successful, it says it was sent successfully. If there's an error, it responds with the error message. The only other thing I want to do there, I wonder if, I mean, it could have been some networking issue or something, right? That maybe it, I don't know. I don't know why it might not send, but when you click the send button, it's setting the value to sending and it's disabling it right here. So I think I want to set that back in the case of an error so that, I don't know, somebody wants to hit it again to try again because maybe the error message says there was some problem, try again. I don't know. I don't know what all the error messages are. So here, inside the error code, change send button value back to send, and maybe I'll say again, and disable the false, and I'm gonna break the access token again and refresh. So I would like to buy some website. Here's my message. I'm gonna hit send. It switched to sending. It gave the error message. Send again. Yeah, let's try again. Switch to sending. Still got the error message. Looks good to me. So reset access token. And Garrett, I'm not worried about this access token being shown here on the video because the way Postmail works, it's not like other like email APIs or whatever. It's actually tied to my email address that it sends the emails to. So if somebody steals my token, they can't use up, you know, my limit of emails or whatever to send spam to other people, because anything that uses this token to send through Postmail will only come to me. So I think we're pretty good here. If anything, I could make this look a little bit better, but I think that's good enough for now. It's been just a little over an hour. I expected to spend about an hour on it. So I guess that's good enough. I'm going to think about whether or not I should do this in, yeah, Garrett, you said I was going to ask about that, about the access code. That's actually one of the reasons I looked at Postmail, because I didn't have to use the backend to send email. But I'll have to look at maybe using the S3 bucket and pointing the domain names there. Like I said, I can do it in IS pretty simply on web server, but I don't know. We'll see. I would like to find some method of doing it in such a way that it preserves the domain name in the actual address bar, so that the JavaScript and stuff works to display the name. Also, though, I want it to be easy. If I, get some wild hair and buy 10 domain names and then don't do a project with any of them or whatever and decide, you know what, I'm just going to, if somebody else comes across it and wants to buy it, I'll let them do it. I don't want to have to, log into servers and add header records and all kinds of crap to get the domain name set up to point to this site either. So, I don't know. Maybe looking to see what I can do there, because I know if I do a DNS redirect, it's even though that's easy, it's not going to preserve the domain name. Like originally I showed, if you go to wastexgames.com, it actually does a DNS redirect to the gamecrafter.com/designer/wastex, where the games I've designed are for sale. So I don't want to do that, because if this page looked at, if it redirected like that, it would have to redirect to wherever this page is hosted, and then it wouldn't know the domain name. And I want the domain name, again, to appear here and here. Oh, one more thing. If somebody doesn't type the domain name into the message, it's not going to be there. So I do want to append it to the subject no matter what they type there, since it'll be displayed at the end of the subject. Let's see, so it's displayed here at the end of the subject, and the email is set up here. Here's the subject. The value is being added. Yeah, right here. So I'm going to add that on here. Just a dash, and what was it? Window.location.host, I believe is what I was using. Yeah, window location.host. So now, even if they don't type in the domain name in the subject of the email, it'll be appended to the subject when the email comes to me. So let me save that. And again, right now it'll just be blank. But so anyway, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research to see what I want to do. If I want to put it on S3, set it up in IIS or whatever. But basically, done with this one. So nice. Let's see. I haven't actually played with the scenes here in the stream yet. Let me go here. There we go. Okay. So a few people have stopped by. Thanks for stopping by. Garrett, if you have any questions before we sign off here, feel free to ask. I'm not sure how long of a delay there is, so I'll give it a couple minutes. But again, this was just a quick and dirty with some raw JavaScript, no libraries. And because it was the raw JavaScript, I had to actually look up some stuff with the CSS and the not the selectors, but the JavaScript properties and things. Fun stuff. Good times. It's kind of fun sometimes to go back to the old way. It's funny. Like I said, the company I work for now, we use jQuery, and this is actually my second time to work for them. The first time when I left, we were doing everything. It was just like the raw JavaScript stuff. And I was gone for 2.5 years, and I went back to work for them, and in that 2.5 years, they had adopted jQuery, and they were using all these, with jQuery, it has the way it handles the AJAX calls, and like just all this crazy stuff, and data tables, and all these things. I had no idea what I was doing, and was like, oh, this is great. I'll still know the system and the infrastructure and everything. And went back to work there and had no clue what was going on. It wasn't just, it wasn't like going back to the same place. It was like a total different setup. But anyway, so going back to JavaScript again now, probably another, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 years later. That was fun. So let's see. Garrett says he doesn't have any questions, but feeling inspired to get some work done on his sites. That's good. Get to it, stick to it. Let me know what's going on. And I guess I will sign off here. And if, let's see. I think next time I'll give an update on how I ended up setting up this site, and maybe we'll look at either we might go back to working on Bunny Runner as we did Friday in the first episode of Jeremy Makes Stuff, or I may decide to redesign my website, jeremysouthern.com. Instead of a .net website with some pages with content and some pages with nothing for years, but some with other information. I might recreate it in WordPress, or not recreate it in WordPress, but set up a new WordPress site for it, and set up a page for these Jeremy Makes Stuff videos. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Hey there, thanks for checking out my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if so, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in more content, I'm going to try to do one new episode each week here on Jeremy Makes Stuff with various topics about websites, programming, video games, woodworking, 3D printing. Who knows what we'll do next. Also, please check out my other channel, Art Supply Guide, and if you're interested in art tutorials, product reviews, online courses, or a podcast that is interviewing artists, check us out at artsupplyguide.com. Thank you. And close the gap, move the coins over. A little stutter on. That's okay. Oh, make it. Jetpack. Still wasn't close enough.